Hi, today I'm going to talk about short irons. In theory, short irons are easy clubs to hit. They have shorter shafts, so the club head is easier to control. And the club also has more loft on the face, which puts more backspin on the ball, which is going to keep the ball flying straighter. Okay, so in theory, your short irons are easy clubs to hit. However, in reality, that's not always the case. I see a lot of people who thin their short irons. They have trouble getting to the bottom of the ball with their short irons. And it makes sense that those issues get exposed with these short irons if you have certain swing characteristics. So I'm going to go through a couple of reasons why people have trouble with their short irons and explain what you can do to improve the strike on your short irons. Okay, so the first issue comes down to the length of the shaft. So it's both a blessing and a curse. So it's a blessing because it's shorter, it's easier to control the club head, but it's a curse in as much as when you take your setup position, then the posture that you get needs to be a little bit more extreme than it is for your longer club. So what I mean by that is this angle between my legs and my spine is more over. Okay, that's going to help me swing on a plane that's going to get the club down to the bottom of the ball. And if you're extremely tall, if your clubs are a little ill-fitting for you, then you may need to just increase your knee flex a little bit too. But the main adjustment should be that you bend a little bit more from your hips. Now, this is all well and good in the setup position, but that's sometimes it's after that that the problems occur. So what I mean by that is that once I've taken my setup position with this angle between my hips and my spine, as I make my backswing, as I turn, then I need to make sure that I maintain that angle between my hips and my spine. Now, you're going to have trouble with your short irons if even after you've taken a good setup position, as you go back, then you lose this angle between your hips and your spine. So you can see my hips have extended forwards, and now my body is more upright than when I started. So if that happens on the backswing, if as I turn back, my hips extend forwards, then it's going to change the plane of my swing, it's going to change my angles, and I'm going to tend to swing higher than where I started. Now that's obviously quite an exaggeration that I demonstrated, but for golfers who lose their hip angle on the backswing, then what it can mean is you're going to thin the ball at impact. Okay, so first thing you need to do is make sure you get a good posture where you can really feel this exaggeration with your hips at the setup position, and then as you make your backswing, as you turn, make sure that you maintain that angle. Okay, now there's a couple of reasons why people might struggle with that. One is that they're weak in their abs or lower back, and so that means that as you make your backswing, it actually feels more comfortable to stand up. So there may be some physical limitations that can be addressed by just kind of strengthening up this pelvic girdle area, or it might just be awareness, not kind of realizing that that's what you're doing. So that's one reason why you might have trouble with your shorter irons. The second reason is very similar, and let's say you have a good posture to begin with. You've got all your angles right here, you make your backswing, you maintain the angles, but then as you start swinging down, your hips extend forwards, it's going to have that same effect. So now I've lost this angle between my hips and my spine. My hips have extended forwards. I've shallowed the plane of my swing, so I'm going to tend to thin or top the ball with my short irons. Okay, so it's a similar remedy for that mistake, and that is that once you've made a good backswing, as you start down, I'm really being aware of where my hips are as I'm swinging down. So I'm making sure that I've maintained that angle with my hips, and my hips haven't extended forwards. It's the kind of swing characteristic that you can get away with a longer club, but you absolutely cannot get away with it with these short irons. Okay, so in theory, short irons are easy to hit. Sometimes you have trouble with them, either because of posture at the setup, not maintaining your hip angle on the backswing, or in the transition. Either way, the swing is going to get too shallow, which means that you're going to have a tendency to top the ball or thin the ball. Okay, I hope that helps with the short irons. Check out some of our other videos and see if they help your game too. Thanks.